Hello, my name is Julian Colvin, and today I'm going to be showing you a presentation about the TPACK framework. TPACK stands for Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge, and it's a framework that demonstrates the different types of knowledge that teachers need in order to be successful in a 21st century classroom. So here's a picture of the TPACK framework, and we can see that the different knowledge areas are represented in a Venn diagram, and I'm going to go into a little more detail about each of these knowledge areas. The first is content knowledge, which is the what you teach. And this could be shown using standards documents, it's the facts that you teach, procedures that are appropriate in the content area, different techniques, or ways of thinking, habits of mind, strategies for analyzing, and other things that fall under the what you actually hope to teach students. Next is pedagogical knowledge, which is the how you teach. And these are can be encompassed by some general teaching strategies such as differentiation, gradual release of responsibility, classroom routines, questioning, Socratic seminar or discussion, and other general teaching strategies. So it's important to note that these are not specific to any particular content area. These are general teaching strategies. And then third, we have technological knowledge, which can be described as skill with general technology, technology that's used on an everyday basis. So this could be shown by your ability to create a multimedia presentation, using a search engine, using social media sites, creating a personal website, using a smartphone, using email, etc. So these are things, pieces of technology that you use every day, and your skill at this contributes to your technological knowledge. Now, what we can see here is that there's also areas where these different knowledges intersect. So we can see here and here and here the different knowledge areas intersect, and I'm going to talk a little bit about these interrelational knowledge areas now. So the first interrelational area is pedagogical content knowledge, known as PCK. And this involves selecting and implementing appropriate pedagogical strategies for the content you're trying to teach. So now we're taking those general pedagogical strategies and applying them specifically to your content area. So this can be shown by your ability to anticipate and address student misconceptions, using scaffolding to build knowledge or build student confidence to be able to complete a specific academic task, and giving specific academic feedback to students so that they know how to improve. These are just some examples. There are, of course, others. Then we have your technological content knowledge, or TCK, and this is using technology now that's appropriate within your content area. So these are some more specific pieces of technology. And so I have some examples here for different content areas. So one example would be in mathematics using a graphing calculator, in science using appropriate technological lab equipment, in social studies using an academic database to search for journal articles, in English using collaborative writing or editing tools, and in art using recording devices and editing software. Again, these are just some examples for some different content areas. There are more out there. And third, we have technological pedagogical knowledge, or TPK, and this is knowing how to teach others to use technology. So this is not just about your use of technology, but your ability to teach others to use technology. So this involves introducing students to technology and allowing time for students to explore new technology, just as you would with any other manipulative or tool that you use in the classroom. You should model and demonstrate procedures and build student capacity so that they can try to troubleshoot problems independently. So this takes students from being technology users to really technology experts. So you're not constantly running around being the expert. You then have students becoming the expert. And these are just some examples. Finally, in the very middle of the diagram, we have where all three of the knowledge areas intersect, and this is known as technological pedagogical content knowledge. So this is where all three knowledge areas interact in a very complex way in order to demonstrate this type of knowledge, and I'm going to talk more about that now. And basically, the way to sum up technological pedagogical content knowledge, or TPACK, is selecting and implementing appropriate pedagogical strategies to teach students new content through technology and to teach students new technology through content. So to break this down a little bit, if you're implementing a lesson where you're demonstrating your TPACK, the technology in the lesson supports the learning of the content that you're trying to teach. And the content that you're trying to teach motivates the use of technology. So the technology makes it easier for students to understand the content, or may even be necessary for students to successfully be able to understand the content. And then you're using your appropriate pedagogical strategies both to teach the content and to teach students how to use the technology. So we can see that there is a very complex interaction going on when all three of the knowledge areas combine. The final piece of the TPACK framework is the circle around it, which is the context. So obviously TPACK is going to look very different in different classrooms. If you're an elementary teacher versus a secondary teacher, then TPACK is going to look very different because the sophistication, the maturity, and ability levels of the students will be different. In different content areas, different pieces of technology and different types of pedagogical strategies will be appropriate. So it's going to look different in each area. So it's important to keep that in mind as well. So hopefully this introduced you to the TPACK framework, and now you understand what the TPACK framework is about.